Let's practice a little bit more factorising. We're going to have a go at 3 expressions in this little tutorial, each one a little bit different from the other. So the first one that we're going to have a look at is x squared minus x minus 20. Now the first thing that I would ask myself if I was going to do this is there a common factor in that expression? And no, there isn't. So I'm going to use this method of rectangle and diamond. To do this, I need to work on the diamond aspect of this way of factorising expressions first. And I'm in my diamond method, I'm looking for 2 numbers that are the product or multiply together to give me minus 20. In actual fact, it's minus 20 times x squared. So I'm looking for 2 terms that multiply together to give me minus 20x squared. It's minus 20 because remember there's a coefficient of 1 here. So if I multiply 1x squared times minus 20, I get minus 20x squared. And those 2 numbers that multiply together to give me minus 20x squared also have to add together to give me this term here, which is minus x. So they're adding together here and they're multiplying together here. So let's have a think of what the factors first of 20 might be. It could be, we could have 20 and 1, we could have 10 and 2, or we could have 5 and 4. Now we want to get minus x or minus 1. Remember there's a coefficient of 1 in front of that minus x. So we want to give ourselves minus 1 when we add them together. So 20 and 1, there's not a difference of 1. 10 and 2 don't have a difference of 1. 5 and 4 do have a difference of 1. So 5x and 4x are going to multiply together to give us 20x squared. But we've got minus 20, so that tells us that one of those terms has to be a positive, one of those terms has to be a negative. So we want to end up with minus x, so if we have minus 5x plus 4x, that's going to give us minus x. Minus 5x plus 4x gives us minus 4x, and minus 5x times plus 4x gives us negative 20x. So we've split that middle term into 2 terms that when we combine them they actually give us what that middle term is. So it's the same expression, it's just written out with a little bit of a longer form. So what goes in here? We need to start off with this term that goes here. Now we're not going to write the minus x, we're going to have the minus 5x plus the 4x, and the last term goes in the last box, so minus 20. So to be able to factorise, we need to have the four parts to our expression. We only had the 3 parts up. We only had the 3 parts up here, so we needed to split that up so that we still ended up with a combined total of minus x, but giving us 2 parts that we can put into these boxes here. Hopefully, as we go along, that will become a little bit clearer. It might sound a little bit confusing at the moment. So we've been practicing getting our factors from our box like this. So let's have a look. X squared, the 2 factors of x squared can only be x and x. So if we know this one's x, what do we multiply by x to get minus 5x? It would be minus 5. What do we multiply? We've got x up here. What do we multiply by to get 4x would be 4. And if we've done it correctly, 4 times minus 5 gives us minus 20, which is correct. So our factors will be, choose a different colour if we can. Let's go yellow, beautiful. This is one pair of factors, x plus 4. And the other pair of factors are up here, x minus 5. So the factors of our original equation, x squared minus x minus 20, are x plus 4 and x minus 5. So original equation, factors using our diamond and rectangle method. Okay, let's have a go at the next one. Nope, got to add in a bit slower than my brain works. Next one is, let's go, minus 2x squared plus 16. Whoops, do you want to see that, do you? Minus 16x minus 14. Okay, can we take out any common factors to start off with? Well, I think that we should be able to take out a common factor of 2 here, or minus 2. So let's put minus 2 outside our brackets. If we take out minus 2 out of minus 2x squared, you're just left with 6x squared. If you take out minus 2 out of 16x, well, it's going to be 8x. We've got a negative sign here and a positive sign there, so this must be a positive because a minus, that must be a plus. That sign must be a plus because a minus times a minus gives us a plus. We've got a minus here and a minus there, so this must be the plus. And minus 2, this would be 7. Right, so there we've taken out a common factor, so we only need to factorise this part of the expression. This is one of our factors that we will have in our answer, but we only need to factorise this part. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. This part of the expression. Let's see if we can get that back in there. That's an 8. Oh, I hate it when it does that. That's an 8 and that's a 7. We'll try and remember that because I can't do it. Okay, so let us start off with our... Here, remember, this is going to be the product, or two numbers that multiply together to give us plus 7. And here, those two numbers have to add together to give us minus 8x. So, two numbers that multiply together to give us 7 is only going to be 7 and 1. We haven't got much choice there, have we? A 7 and a 1. So, 7 and 1, so it's going to be 7 and 1. Now, we've got minus 8x and we've got a plus 7 here, so it's plus 7 and it's minus 8 here. Oops, not writing very well. So it could be two negatives. Two negatives would give us a positive, so minus 7x minus x would give us minus 8x. So we can split that minus 8x up into minus 7x minus 1x. That still gives us minus 8x. It just gives us our 4 terms to put in it to our... Let me see if I can make that bigger than last time because it was a bit hard to fit them in the boxes. Not enough room on these little pages. Let's have a look and see if we can do it a little bit bigger for you. Try that. So in the first box here goes this first term, which is x squared. Then we put our two terms that are over here. So the first one is minus 7x. The second one is minus x. Don't need to write the coefficient of 1. And this is the last term up here, which was plus 7. Okay, let's factorise that now. Again, nice and easy to start off with because x and x are the only combinations that will make x squared. If I have got x, I need to multiply it by minus 7 to get minus 7x. I would multiply x by minus 1 to get minus x, and minus 1 times minus 7 gives me plus 7, so that's okay. So my factors are, can I be clever enough, to move all that up? Look at that, so clever. Our factors of that of what we've done just here, let's just look at what's in the rectangle, x minus 1 and x minus 7. Now, can I be clever enough? Yes, but remember, we had this factor here, that we had to also include. So, if we can't bring it over, we've also got that factor of minus 2, which, if I had enough room, I would write in the front. So, our answer for that original expression, which was minus 2x squared plus 16x minus 14, minus 2x squared plus 16x minus 14 will be, and remember our original factor that we took out was minus 2, and then we had x minus 1 and x minus 7 were those bits that we got from our rectangle once we've taken out our common factor. Okay, let's try 1. Yes, got it, excellent. Our last one is going to be 10x squared minus x minus 2. So let's see, do we have any common factors? No, there's 10 and 2 would have a common factor of 2, but the 10 and 2 would have a common factor of 2, but that doesn't work with the minus x or the minus 1x, so we can't take add any common factors. This time we have a coefficient of x squared that is greater than 1, so we need to make sure we take that into account when we're doing our diamond and our rectangle. So let's start off with our diamond. Remember, our product, our two numbers that we multiply together, have to multiply together to get minus 10x squared times, 10x squared times minus 2. So that would be minus 20x squared, if you want to include that. And they have to add together to give us minus x. So we're looking for factors of 20 that will give us 1 if we just don't worry about our signs for the moment. So the factors of 20 are 10 and 2, 5 and 4, put some commas in there, 20 and 1. They have a difference of 8, they have a difference of 19, so 5 and 4 are looking our best bets. Now, it's minus 20x squared, so one of those has to be a positive and one has to be a negative. If I want to end up with minus x, I reckon I need minus 5x plus 4x. So let's just check that they're right. 5x times 4x is 20x, and a minus and a plus gives us a minus, so that works. Minus 5x plus 4x leaves us with minus x, so that's going to work beautifully. So let's do our rectangle, draw our rectangle in so that we can start to factorise that. First square is this one, so that's 10x squared. Second square is this one, so that is minus 5x. Third square is this one over here, that's 4x. And our last square is our last term, which is this one, and that is minus 2. Okay, let's have a go at factorising this. Now, it's a little bit more difficult because we have a few factors of this. It's not just x and x squared. So let's think, it could be 10 and 1, or it could be 5 and 2. Now, I'm going to just have a look over here. If I'm going to minus 5x here, I'm thinking that 5x is going to fit nicely into what we need to do. So thinking ahead a little bit, if that is 5x, I'm going to be able to multiply it by something to get minus 5x. So if this is 5x, then this will need to be 2x, and that's looks like it'll work nicely with 4x. So 5x times minus 1, 5x times minus, sorry, you can't see what I'm doing, 5x times minus 1 will give me minus 5x, so that works nicely. 5x times 2x gives me 10x squared, so that works nicely. So now I've got 2x. What am I going to multiply 2x by to give me 4x? Well, I think that might be 2. And if we've done everything nicely, 2 times minus 1 should give us minus 2, and it does. So our factors of our expression 10x squared minus x minus 2 are going to be yes, 5x plus 2 and 2x minus 1. They're our factors. So let's just write that out nicely for you. Look at that, it stays there. Look at that. Our original expression was 10, get the pen back, 10x squared minus x minus 2, and our factors were 5x plus 2 and 2x minus 1. So 5x plus 2 and 2x minus 1. And if I really wanted to check, the way that I would do that is to multiply this back out again, and I should get the expression that I started with. So there's a few examples of factorising quadratic expressions with 3 terms. Some had a common factor that we needed to take out first, some had a coefficient of x squared that was equal to 1, and the other had a coefficient of x that was greater than 1. So using that diamond and rectangle method is very easy. It's the simplest method I've seen of factorising ever, I think. So I'd like you to have a practice at doing that with the questions that I've set for you. If you get stuck, remember you have some steps of what you need to do if you need help. One of those options would be look back at the video. Another one would be to talk to the person who is sitting next to you or across the table from you to see if they could help you. Another one would be to look back at some past examples of this diamond and, well, we haven't used the diamond method before, but we've certainly used the rectangle part of it before. Look at that. Think about what, and ask yourself some questions. Well, can I do a little bit of it to start with, and can I just get started? Don't try and think about looking at the question and thinking, can I solve the whole thing all at once in my head? Because no, you can't. You need to just work through it step by step and just do the little bit that you can to start yourself off, if that's all that you can do, and you'll be surprised how much further you'll be able to go through with the problem. So please work hard, practice these, and I think that you'll enjoy using this method as much as I do.